microphone or wind control that is going to make talking on this video possible being outside. As you know, Hurricane Lee has been coming to Nova Scotia, and we thought we would do a quick update on how it's been for us, but it's so windy out right now. So we were totally expecting that today and yesterday that we would get tons of rain, and we actually haven't had any. In fact, a lot of our ground around the property that you saw was really puddly from all the rain that we've had over the past couple of weeks is actually dried up because all the wind has just surfaced the whole property. It seems to be drying up some of the dampness that we've had. We seem to have no fallen trees or anything, and we're going to take a little walk through our woods and just make sure that we don't have any down, because we can't really tell from the perimeter of the property. Our water level is the same as yesterday because we have not had any rain. We were so surprised that yesterday morning we had a power outage, and then all day it was sunny. Woo! The wind just keeps coming in these huge gusts. But we're really lucky that Hurricane Lee didn't hit us like we expected that it was going to. We knew it wasn't going to come like directly over us like Hurricane Fiona, or at least that's what we were seeing from watching the news, that it was going to be in another area of Nova Scotia and that we would just kind of get residuals from the storm. But you just never know, so it's always good to be prepared in case. But so far, so good. It's still really windy today, as you can see. I'm guessing today and tomorrow is still going to be incredibly windy, so we'll have to see what we get. But I think the hurricane literally went across the tip end of Nova Scotia into Bay of Fundy and then over to New Brunswick. So hopefully no one really experienced any bad, damages or anything. We haven't really been online to see what really has been happening because we didn't have power yesterday morning or for a portion of yesterday.
This morning.
But this morning we didn't have power this morning from about 4:30 a.m. till I would say about 10:30.
And yesterday.
And yesterday about the same time, about 5:30 to about 10:30. It flickered a couple times. We actually woke up from a dead sleep because our bedroom fan turned off. And all of a sudden it was just really quiet and all you could hear was the wind. So it woke Philip and I both back up. So we went out in the middle of the night, like early morning, checked the horses. Hudson and Lennon are so brave.
I ran out at what time?
It would have been about 4:35 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, and the winds, at that point, we woke up and there was no power. I was a little worried because it was a couple hours since I wanted to go check on them. Because we
dozed off for a bit.
We fell asleep, and so I ran out and they were laying down being
Snuggly.
They were snuggling. They both looked up at me like, "Hey Dad, we're cool, go back to bed."
Dogs were snuggled all together. I checked on them about like 12:30. We were up till about 1 and then we kind of dozed off for a bit. All the dogs were just cuddled together and they were having a time. Boys were all tucked in. I put their fan on like really loud in the room thinking that maybe the boys wouldn't even hear the storm at all.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. They didn't even realize that we were without power or that the wind had been so strong through the night. But we had a fun night with them last night.
Yeah.
We watched some videos with the boys. Dayton cooked us an amazing meal for dinner out in the hurricane. Dancing to his music, barbecuing, so adorable.
Definitely hurricane.
Yeah.
It's not even that bad. The trees rustling a lot.
This is Hurricane Lee. Barbecuing a couple steaks.
I hope it doesn't get too bad. Too bad like halfway through.
Your steaks or the Hurricane Lee?
Hurricane Lee.
Oh.
What are you cooking, Day?
Steak burgers?
Steak burgers?
Yeah.
Dayton has become our master barbecuer.
It's time for us to cook them?
Yeah, sure.
That's a big one. Nice job. So Dayton's been starting the barbecue, cooking us dinner, whatever we're having for meat on the barbecue, and then he turns it all off, gets everything ready, does it all himself. He's mastering each type of meat, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been prouder, honestly. And he's feeding me. Oh my God.
Like this benefits all of us. This newfound hobby you have.
Dayton the chef.
Dayton has always been very good at food tasting and knowing if things are missing or how things could be better. He's always had a pretty good interest in cooking and baking, and barbecuing is his next venture, so he's been doing a really good job. And I mean, this is your first hurricane you're barbecuing in. That's why Mom made sure we had propane so we could eat some good food while we were having the hurricane.
Yeah, Hurricane Lee.
We made fresh baked muffins. Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little family secret. We have the best chocolate chip banana muffin recipe ever. We call these Nana muffins because these are the muffins that Chase and Dayton's Nana always made them when they were little. Chase has a severe egg allergy, and so these banana muffins were what we figured out how to make egg-free when Chase was just a little guy, and they are so delicious. And we just had a really nice like family night together while we waited for the storm to hit that didn't really hit us. So we're very thankful. Again, second large hurricane to hit Nova Scotia since we've lived here, and we came out on the good side both times. So yeah, that is like amazing. You don't want to have any damages while you're trying to fix up a house, let alone damages like at any time. So that would have been a setback for sure for us to have any damages.
Let's do a little property tour right now. Let's go this way.
Okay.
And we'll check things out, and then we'll see if we lost any trees.
So this area that we're in right now, you saw that we were falling a whole bunch of trees to use for logs for our paddock. Philip and I are gonna keep working all this fall on getting a whole ton of these trees down, because eventually this area is going to be a trail into and then a lovely like meadow paddock for the horses. But this is going to be a large project getting to this point, but that's kind of where we're standing right now. So this is behind where the little garden shed is on our property where we're walking.
We have a nice little stream that we're gonna...
Yeah, my stream still has water running through it. There's obviously some fallen trees on this side.
And that stream runs all the way down to the river. And so we're gonna take all these trees that are just really small and they're not good for anything.
Just crowded.
Just crowded, yep. Take them, leave some of the big ones so it's nice, and then we're gonna make a little pasture here. There's
from their pasture.
Yeah, joins from their pasture there, and then this is all gonna be pasture here, and then all the way down to the river, hopefully. Well, not hopefully, that's what we're gonna be working on. And then we're gonna turn all of this wood, we're gonna fall it and turn it into firewood.
So last year and this year, we're buying firewood. Just with my surgery, we just didn't have enough time, and Philip was a one-man show for a couple months here, right? When he would have normally been out here working on falling trees and getting that ready. And so we're gonna fall these this fall, so that next year in the fall, we don't have to buy firewood and all these trees. They'll probably give us a year or two worth of firewood, and then we'll be able to like have that all processed and have the space emptied and work on building up this ground here to be able to be a nice paddock. So we're lots of things like in the works for the property. So, I mean, we weren't going to be too devastated if some of those small ones fell today.
No. Little quad path.
A little sneaky path.
It's everything's so saturated from all the rain we have been getting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Put my wellies on.
Oh. Hi, Grandma.
It'd be so good to go that way.
Yeah, we can go a little bit, though, maybe. I'll go a little bit.
Hear us very well on the video.
No, I just want to... Oh, yeah, it's wet. Well, we won't take this quad path today because it's really wet. We don't want to get blown away. Hold on, hon. Oh, jeez.
So I think with how the weather is for probably the remainder of today and into tomorrow would be the perfect time to make a nice warm tea and start sorting some of the things in my craft room to get all of that back in. Because yesterday I launched on the ElysiaEnglish.com site that I was offering custom pet ornaments, just like I did with Hudson in London. We had so many people reach out asking if I could do custom ones for their own pets that aren't horses or are horses. And so I need to get my studio room set back up today because I have a whole bunch of orders to work on for that this week, in addition to other ornaments for last year's Hudson and Londons and this year Hudson and Londons on my site. So if you haven't got yours yet, then head to ElysiaEnglish.com. All of the information will be in the description box. But you can get your very own custom pet portrait. You have to email me a photo of your portrait with your order, and then I will be able to use that as a reference to create your own custom ornament, which I do hand scroll saw cut and hand paint to be able to have them. There'll be about a 2-week waiting period to be able to have them shipped out from the time that you submit your order, so that I can spend the appropriate time to make sure that they're perfect for you before I send them out. But I thought that was so adorable. So we have like cats and dogs and horses and all kinds of pets that are special for people's families, and I mean, these are one of a kind, so I think that's pretty neat. So if you want to get yours, then you can order in the link down below. But today I'm going to be finishing up a few things in that space, because on October 1st we are launching our 2023 ornaments that are all handmade. The boys and I are working on things for our upcoming craft show, and I wanted to mention that on the video. We have not heard yet if the craft show that we participated in last year is running yet or not. I reached out about 2 weeks ago, and they said that they were going to be having a meeting last week in regards to whether or not they're going to run again. I guess every year they have a meeting to refresh and see what events are going to run between September and December. And we have not heard yet if the show is even running, which means that we obviously have not applied to be in the show, because we don't know if the show is happening or not. So I am eagerly waiting to hear and see if that show is going to be an option for us. And if it is, fingers crossed we get a space. I think we did a really great job, and our space was really like well presented, and our items are really unique and colorful. And, you know, I think we brought a lot to that event in addition to some extra traffic. So I'm hoping that we do get another spot this year. But if not, I'll be able to kind of guess procrastinating my inventory and waiting to hear if we get into the show. So it's kind of hard to be motivated to work on something that you don't know if you're going to be in yet at. So I'm going to just get going on making it, and then I'll put everything on the site if we don't do the show anyway. So not too worried about it, but we're waiting. So fingers crossed that we get into our show. So I'll have everything launched for what we're offering for the site at the beginning. Our first launch will be October 1st on ElysiaEnglish.com. So thank you for all of the well wishes and prayers for our family over the hurricane. We made it out in, you know, I would say perfection. I think the only thing that happened was a couple screws on our gate came loose, and that was it. So ultimately, I think we did a great job, and we had fun, you know, prepping and getting everything ready and things cleaned up, and had a lovely evening with the boys. So thank you so much for always thinking of our family and for sending all of your love our way. I love you, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode. We're back renovating tomorrow. So fingers crossed our power stays on.